thoughts away. When Moon entered the kitchen, he expected to see Mama preparing his last night's supper, chopping choy and those annoying turnips. Instead, she sat at the table where Yin Young had eaten and spat out his turnips. Mama was hunched over a small page, a page that appeared to be from his coaching book. She gazed into it as if she could read each character with ease. With the tip of her finger, she followed each stroke, one at a time, up and down and across. She traced Baba's calligraphy like she was writing the note herself, like she was right there with him, making all their plans and dreams a reality, together again. Still humming, she took her time with each stroke, an unknown conversation filling the last night at home air. Her face looked pretty in a baby sister kind of way. He longed to watch her like this for just one more night. Then her humming stopped. "Come here," she said, her prettiness fading. Without hesitation, he sat next to her. "You must not disappoint our family," Mama said. "Stay out of trouble, promise me." At first, Moon couldn't speak. The promise had swallowed the air around him. Mama's face pleaded for his answer, but her dark eyes focused on his. "I promised, Mama," Moon said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Your coaching book stays here," she said, taking the book out of his hands. The book slipped out through his fingers, leaving his palms cold and empty. This was news to him, not having his book, and a new crop of worries started forming. "No need for books," she said, her eyes still focused on his. "You are ready, except..." "Except?" "Except," she continued, "keep one page, just in case." On this page, Moon recognized the section listing Uncle Yin Tao and Auntie Gumlin as his parents. His new family taking shape, his journey to America becoming more real. Baba and Mama's names were nowhere to be found. The rest of the notes started to blur. She flattened the paper against the table. Then she folded it in half, following the crease between her two fingers, then half again, and again until the paper dwindled to the size of a dried red date. She curled her fingers around it, securing it in the palm of her hand, close to her like a favored son. Next to her arm, not far from Moon's coaching book, a derby cap rested on the table. "This cap belonged to your Baba, like new." Mama touched its brim with care, a tiny smile forming across her face. So tiny and so brief that if Moon blinked, he would have missed it. She then flipped Baba's cap over so that the inside faced outward. Of course, no one can know. Better to keep paper hidden. No one can find out who you are. Mama slid the paper under the cap seam. Like a dutiful son, it obeyed without a single complaint. With needle and thread, she began her work. She wove intricate stitches in and out of the seam, sealing off the past. The edges were smoothed over by her fingertips, rough from the day's work. Thread trailed from the cap's edge to her hand. With the remaining thread, she moistened one spot with her lips, and taking it between her strong teeth, she broke it off. A clean cut. "Tell no one," she instructed. "Take paper out only if you need. Just in case, only if you need." These words, these last instructions turned into more worries that sank deep into Moon's heart. His coaching book sat only inches from him, so close, and yet like Baba, was an ocean away, an unknown journey away. There was a page or two that he needed to study, something about the kitchen, or maybe it was his school or teachers. Now he would never have the chance. He thought he had more time. "Lean forward. Your Baba will be proud when you return his cap to him. We can't disappoint him, can we?" Moon bowed his head, wanting to be the dutiful son she expected. But being dutiful meant many things that Mama had taught him not to do. Hiding, lying, being an uncle's son. None of it made sense. Mama placed the cap on his head. Where the paper was hidden, a slight bump scratched his forehead. An itch flared up and he dug his fingernails into his forehead. It didn't help. Moon grabbed the cap and took it right off. "It itches!" "Moon!" Mama raised her hand to him. He braced himself for another knuckling, maybe the last one for a long while. Her hand neared his head, her middle knuckle within rapping distance, but nothing happened. Mama's hand turned around, her fingers uncurling and widening. She touched his face and then held his cheek in her hand. The warmth from her palm spread throughout his face and inched its way to the spot where the paper had irritated his forehead, and the itch disappeared.